I always thought I knew who I was. Confident. Predictable. The kind of person who didn't get easily embarrassed, who laughed at days instead of falling for them. But that all changed the day I met Aaliyah, the girl I'd been crushing on since freshman year. It wasn't her smile that did it, or the way she tucked her hair behind her ear. It was everything. Her voice, her confidence, the way the sunlight bounced off her skin just right. I wanted to be near her, to talk to her, but I was painfully shy, fumbling over my words like a schoolboy. And then came the hypnotist. It was some silly college event, Aaliyah's idea to attend the Mind's Mirror seminar. I never believed in hypnosis, thought it was a gimmick, a stage trick. But she dragged me there, eyes sparkling, insisting, "You'll love it, trust me." I laughed, nervous, and sat beside her in the dim auditorium. The hypnotist was a wiry man with a soft, mesmerizing voice. "Tonight," he said, "you will discover hidden truths about yourself. You will awaken aspects you didn't know existed." I scoffed. Until he looked directly at me. "Focus on my voice. Your mind is pliable, receptive. You will imagine becoming someone else, someone you admire." I felt it, slow and strange, like my thoughts were melting. My eyelids got heavy. The world around me softened. Then, her image appeared in my mind. Aaliyah. Her face. Her laugh. Her perfect, graceful movements. I wanted to reach her. And before I knew it, I wasn't just imagining. I was becoming her. I jolted awake an hour later, not entirely sure what had happened. My body felt different. I reached up, brushing my face, and froze. Soft skin. High cheekbones. Eyelashes longer than I remembered. My hair, long, silky, falling past my shoulders in waves. I blinked into the mirror and barely recognized the reflection staring back. Aaliyah's reflection. Or something terrifyingly close. I whispered, shaky, "No, no, this isn't real." But it was. Every inch of me had been reshaped, hypnotically, magically, impossibly. My frame smaller, softer, curves in all the right places. Even my voice, when I tried to speak, it came out lighter, higher, trembling like hers. I stumbled back, clutching the counter. My heart pounded. Panic and awe mixed together in a cocktail I couldn't swallow. Then I heard her voice, "Aaliyah," behind me. "Wow," she said softly, stepping closer. "It's uncanny. You look just like me." I spun, horror-struck. You did this." Her eyes softened. "I didn't. The hypnotist did. But, now you understand what it feels like to be me. To walk a mile in my shoes." I swallowed. My reflection blinked back at me. And it wasn't me. Not entirely. The next morning, I realized daily life had become a minefield. Every glance from my roommates, every text from friends, every stranger on campus felt like scrutiny under a microscope. People whispered, friends gasped, and the moments I tried to explain, I couldn't. Because even I wasn't fully sure who I was anymore. "Bro, what happened?" my roommate, Rummy, asked, staring at me over breakfast. I couldn't look him in the eyes. "Not yet." I'm fine," I whispered, my voice soft, melodic, and unmistakably Aaliyah-like. "Fine? You sound different. Are you sick?" I shook my head, gripping my cup too tightly. My hands felt smaller, dainty, delicate. Every ordinary action was suddenly hypervisible, every step a risk. Even walking across campus was terrifying. People stared, whispered, laughed quietly. I could feel their eyes on my figure, my hair, my smile. My reflection in every shop window mocked me. And then came Aaliyah herself, walking beside me, twin-like. Her presence, once comforting, was now suffocating. Every gesture she made seemed to remind me of what I had become. "You're handling it well," she said casually, tucking her hair behind her ear. I wanted to scream. "I'm not handling it," I muttered, but it came out soft, airy, trembling. She laughed. A soft, genuine laugh. "You're more like me than you realize," she said. I wanted to hate her for it. Alone, I began my secret exploration. Locked in my room, I experimented with makeup, voice exercises, and gestures. Every curl of my hair, every brush of mascara, every softening of my posture made me feel both exhilarated and terrified. touching my own face, tracing my cheekbones, feeling the new contours of my body. It was intimate, foreign, yet thrilling. I tried speaking, mimicking her tone, her inflections. Okay, this is insane, I whispered to my reflection. I'm insane. I kind of like this. I flinched at my own words, then tried again. Step by step, inch by inch, I discovered that movements I'd never dared, tilting my head, walking lightly, holding my hands elegantly, felt natural. My heart raced with both embarrassment and excitement. I tried different outfits, skirt, jeans, light sweaters, and each time I caught myself in the mirror, a tiny, dangerous curiosity blossomed. Could this be me? Not fully, not permanently, but a side of me I'd never explored? The reflection staring back seemed to smile. It wasn't mocking, it was inviting. My first weekend experiment outside was terrifying. I followed Aaliyah to a small cafe, dressed in soft pastel clothing, hair flowing, makeup just subtle enough. My steps were cautious, hands folded in front, posture delicate. Strangers stared. Some whispered. A few complimented me. You look so graceful. My chest tightened. My pulse shot through the roof. Every glance, every comment, every tiny smile from strangers built both fear and a strange, intoxicating confidence. I wasn't just surviving as her twin, I was learning to move, to breathe, to exist in this new persona. Even Aaliyah noticed. She leaned close, whispering, "See? You're amazing at this. More than you think." Her words wrapped around me like silk. But then came the confrontation. A friend, someone who knew the real me, saw me walking to the cafe, twin-like, soft, elegant. He froze. Recognition dawned, then confusion, then shock. Wait. Harris? Is that you? Panic. Embarrassment. I wanted to hide, run, tear the outfit off, disappear. But I couldn't. My reflection in a cafe window caught my eye. I wasn't ashamed anymore. Not fully. I had a choice: retreat, deny everything, run back to my old self, or embrace it. I took a deep breath, held my head high, and said softly, "Yes. It's me. And I'm exploring something new." The disbelief in his eyes was palpable. But I didn't falter. From that moment, I began to embrace the new identity fully. I experimented with fashion, with gestures, with my voice. Friends and strangers alike treated me differently, not worse, not better, just differently. I learned to walk the delicate line between who I had been and who I could be. Aaliyah became a guide, a mentor, a support. She never pushed, never judged, just allowed me to discover, to explore, to grow. And slowly, the fear and embarrassment faded. Confidence bloomed. I realized that being hypnotized, becoming her twin, wasn't a punishment. It was a revelation. It forced me to confront fears, to experience vulnerability, to see myself through new eyes. And in doing so, I discovered strength and beauty I'd never known. Looking back, the day I became my crush's twin was terrifying. It shook me to my core, disrupted my life, and forced me to face truths I had been too afraid to acknowledge. But it also gave me courage, self-awareness, and freedom. I learned that identity isn't rigid. That we can explore, change, adapt, and still be ourselves. And that sometimes, the most unexpected experiences reveal the most important truths about who we are, and who we can become. That day, I didn't just become someone else's twin. I became my own discovery. The next morning, I woke up in my own bed, or at least I thought it was my own bed. My limbs felt different. Lighter. Softer. My hair tickled my shoulders in a way it never had before. I stumbled to the mirror and froze. The reflection wasn't just unfamiliar, it was Aaliyah's. Her delicate features, high cheekbones, glossy lips, long lashes, staring back at me with wide, innocent eyes. My stomach dropped, my chest tightened, and a shiver ran down my spine. I touched my face, tracing the contours with trembling fingers. "This can't be real," I whispered. But it was. My voice came out high, airy, melodic. Not mine. Every movement felt strange, my hands smaller, my shoulders narrower, my frame softer. I tried to speak again. What happened?" The sound made me flinch. I sounded like her. Exactly like her. Then I heard a soft knock. Aaliyah. I called, my new voice cracking. She walked in, eyes wide, but not with shock. With amusement. You're perfect. Just like me. I backed up, panic rising. This isn't funny. How? What? Why am I? You're seeing yourself as me, she said softly. The hypnotist, it amplified the image in your mind. You're my twin now. Just, temporarily. Maybe permanently, depending on how much you let it happen. I shook my head violently. I can't. I won't. This isn't me. She knelt beside me, gentle. I'm not saying it's permanent. I'm just curious how it feels for you. You need to see it, experience it. And I hated that some part of me wanted to. By mid-morning, it became clear that daily life was impossible to ignore. My roommate, friends, and even strangers reacted differently. My own reflection made me uncomfortable. Bro, what happened to you? Rummy, my roommate, asked over breakfast, staring wide-eyed. I'm fine, I said, voice delicate and soft. You sound weird. Different. I clenched my fork, trying not to shake. My body felt alien. Every step, every glance, every casual movement made me hyper-aware. Even walking across campus felt like being under a microscope. People whispered, some giggled. Some stared. And I couldn't hide, not when even my own body betrayed me. Aaliyah walked beside me, graceful and perfect. Every movement of hers reminded me of what I had become. You're handling it well, she said, almost casually. I'm not handling it. I muttered. My words sounded tiny, airy, completely unlike me. You're more like me than you realize, she said, eyes teasing. I wanted to scream. But the embarrassing truth was creeping in. I was learning to move like her, to hold myself delicately, to mimic her gestures. And it felt strange, uncomfortable, and thrilling. That evening, alone in my room, I finally experimented in secret. I touched my face, my hair, my body. The sensations were foreign, soft, intimate. I practiced my voice, mirroring Aaliyah's inflections. I tried on different outfits, adjusting ribbons, lace, and hair. I kind of like this. I whispered, the words foreign and scary on my lips. The reflection smiled back. Not mockingly, not maliciously, but inviting. I spun in front of the mirror. The skirt flared around me. My heart raced. My cheeks burned. This is insane, I murmured. I'm insane. And enjoying it. And yet, I couldn't stop. Later, Aaliyah came in. She caught me mid-spin. Look at you. Comfortable already. I froze. I'm not. She smiled softly, brushing a curl behind my ear. You are. I can see it. I hated myself a little for believing her. Hated myself a little for enjoying it. And hated myself a little more for realizing I might not want to stop. By the end of that day, I was exhausted, overwhelmed, but also strangely alive. I had glimpsed a version of myself I'd never dared to imagine. I didn't just become her twin. I became someone new.